Niall McNelis, member of the Labour Party, running in the West Ward of Galway City Council. I've been in City Council for the last 5 years. I'm married to 18, with 2 small kids, a small business in town, and we're living in White Oaks on Cllr Road in Cllr. I suppose what I say about my family first of all is that I know what it's like to have the day-to-day trials and tribulations everybody's gone through. We've got the mortgage, we've got the big loans out with the banks for the business that's struggling. I've gone through 5 years of complete hell as a business, and I suppose I know exactly what's happening out there at the moment for those small businesses, for those small families. I got involved in politics simply because I wanted to make a difference in my community, but also I felt that because my kids were there, I wanted to make sure that the community was going to be safe for them. So if it's safe for them, it's safe for everybody else. But also I felt is that if I can get more business into town, that would help absolutely everybody. That would create jobs, it would create stability for some families, and would also make sure that we'd say we have a thriving town. I absolutely love Galway City. I think it's one of the most unique places to live in the country. I think the arts, the River Corrib, walking the prom, you know, taking a stroll up an walk, or we say Key Street, is absolutely fabulous. But when you live in Knocknacarra, you've got Cap Park, which is just like a treasure trove for the kids when you're walking through and playing Dungeons and Dragons with them. You've got the pitches there that you can play football with. We've got St John the Apostle's School right next door to my house. You've got Sheridan's Bar where you can go for a pint and get abused every night because you're a member of the Labour Party. But also on top of all that, 10 years, 15 years ago, none of those things were there. There was poor planning, bad development. And even recently when we've looked at the new proposal for the shopping centre that's going to be built up in the Ballymonian Road, I mean that shows again the bad planning that happened 10, 15 years ago in Galway. I've never been involved in a bad planning decision. It's something I believe that a city councillor's role is first of all planning and the budget. The planning is all about making sure that you've got the facilities for those families that choose to live where they live. But also you don't want to have an oversupply of commercial retail space, because at the end of the day you'll just end up with shop units that are empty and look derelict. So for me the main issues have always been about why Galway should become and always will be the greatest place to live, work and visit. But I've been involved in various organisations like, you know, the soccer club with Galway United in the past, and then getting involved in the Scouts and numerous charities, which I just get a kick out of being involved in. I can't write a cheque every single time I want to help somebody out, but I can actually devote a couple of hours and use my skills in PR or marketing or business management or whatever way it goes. I mean, a prime example of that was the Darkness into Light that I walked last night. Absolutely amazing to see 4,500 people turn up in the middle of the night. But for me it shows again why Galway is absolutely brilliant. Those 4,500 people turned up, but there was 120 volunteers there on the night. And that's again as part of the role of Galway City Council, is to support the likes of the Volunteer Centre. Because at the moment we have 4,500 people registered with the Volunteer Centre that want to give something back. As chairperson of the Tidy Towns Committee for Galway City, in the last 4 years we've scored consecutively each year, going up in the points market and coming third last year. I mean, that's true volunteers and what can be done in the community. There's no money out there, we all know that. It's been spent badly. The last shower that were in there wrecked the country. My party are doing their best, but sometimes they make mistakes. I mean, it's very easy for me to just run as an independent. I stayed with the Labour Party simply because I believe in their vision: jobs, reform, fairness. Now they're eventually getting there, but at a local level, we've got to really look and see what's going on about this local elections are about. It's about local issues. If you decide not to vote for me, grand. You know, I'll still be actively involved in my community. But if you do elect me, you will get somebody who really, really wants to make sure that Galway remains that great place that it is. But we want to make sure we get people in there who can work together, who can sit around the table and work together. This is not about, you know, personalities or single issues, this election. It's about the transport policy of the city, it's about the environment of the city, it's about the budget for the city, it's about the culture of the city. It's about all of those SPCs that are worked around the council. The development plan and the budget, they're the two main things that the councillors look after. And I know that I can look at you in the face right now and say, if you elect me, you'll get exactly what you got in the last 5 years. Just me doing my best for the city and for you, hopefully.